Welcome everyone to another episode of Traders Talk, the best Forex podcast in the game, man, where we sit down with some of the best funded traders and non-funded traders. And today I got a really cool guest with me, Odis HILL from Texas, man. A nice brother that came across my radar on Instagram, man. I see he's been doing really good with FTMO, his trading. So I hit him up to get him on the podcast because look, man, anybody who's doing good in Forex, let's be honest, it's not easy to make money in this, okay? If you're doing good in this, there's typically a story behind your trading, how you got to this point. So we just want to hear, what Odis' story was, man, what he can share with us today. And we're going to also dive into a little bit of IML stuff. So with that being said, welcome to the podcast. Odis, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing, man?
I'm great, brother. I'm great. Man, let's just knock this podcast out. So I just want to start with this. I see you on Instagram with the bands, with the FTMO, with the withdrawals. You are doing fantastic, man. So congratulations on that right there, okay?
Thank you.
But that's now, right? That's what you're doing now. What were you up to like before trading even came into your life?
Man, before trading, man, I was actually playing basketball, man. I was just playing basketball. But like okay. I was trying to like make it, with basketball. I want to go overseas, but I mean,
right.
Soon as like stuff started getting bad with COVID and all this extra stuff, I was like, oh my God.
Was this during high school?
You say it again?
Was this like during high school you were playing basketball?
This was high school, but this was after high school. I was still, I still had the dream,
Right. Okay. And how long have you been training for now?
Almost 2 years.
All right. So you probably started like around the COVID time.
Around the COVID time.
All right. So how did you get introduced to Forex? Like how did it come into your life?
Well, I was working at a warehouse, and it was this guy in the warehouse. It was my friend, and he always used to tell me like, man, you're working too hard for your money, man. You gotta let your money work for you. And he was telling me, man, talk to me. I talked to him, and he trading stuff, and then I got in.
Okay. Now, was this like an independent trader that was like doing it by himself, and he just wanted to show you what trading was?
Well, it was IML.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that later, I guess. So what was it like? Was he trying to like recruit you, or was he actually trying to show you some trading stuff?
He recruited me.
Okay, cool. We're gonna go into that later on.
Right.
We're gonna go into that later on. All right. So that's how you. So obviously, once you joined IML, what did you think of the learning process there? First of all.
Okay, for the learning process, man, it was tough. I didn't know anything, man. I didn't even know what a pip was.
Right.
Man, trend line. Only thing I seen was just lines. Lines and numbers. I was like, man, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try to make this work.
Yeah.
So I used to. So when I first started trading, man, what I used to do, I had this friend. His name was Adrian. We was trying to be self-taught. What we do every day at work, we'll work a 12-hour shift or sometimes 10. Right. There was an IHOP. It's a food restaurant.
Yeah, I know.
Back at the job, it was 24 hours. So we get off work and go try to learn how to trade. We be on YouTube and like everything, bro. And we had like little money, but we was just trying to learn.
Right.
It became.
Wasn't IML teaching you this? Or wasn't there any video? Doesn't it come with videos?
I mean, they had videos, but they weren't pushing it.
Right. Okay.
It was more towards recruiting. I was more towards like, but.
Yeah, you wanted to learn to trade.
Yeah, man. It was a real struggle trying to learn, man. Especially when you have no guidance.
No guidance. Yeah,
no guidance.
That's pretty hard. So, like, did you at that point like join a course? Like, did you join any other course after that to try to better yourself?
Yeah. So after struggling for so long, I learned from this guy named Daniel.
Okay.
His name's Daniel. His name's Daniel Savage.
Okay, well, yeah, we all know who that is. Yeah.
I learned from him.
Oh, real? That's legit. Mm-hmm. That's legit. All right, much better than IML. So at this point, did you quit? Did you quit the IML thing and then just you were like, I want to learn?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
I quit.
All right, cool. So, and how long ago was this when you started, learning from Daniel?
Probably, I want to say, probably exactly a year, because I was in IML for some months, and then probably exactly a year ago.
Okay.
So, I started learning from him.
So 2 years total you've been trading.
Yeah.
How long do you think it took to like when you were like just break even? Or first you're usually in the always red, always losing. That was me at least. I was always losing trades. Right. All I saw was red on my screen all day long.
Right.
It's like, I thought the markets were against me or something. It's like every time I go long, it goes short. If I go short, it goes long. So I was like, what the hell is going on? Eventually, I got to the stage of break even, where I would go blue and then I would like get taken out or something, right?
Right.
And then eventually, like what I preach is risk management, psychology, and strategy. You need to master these three things, and once you wrap these three things up, and you can really master each one of those three things, you'll start to see, consistency. So I think my consistency was like last year, December, early January, where I was like, okay, I had my first consistent week, I had my first consistent month. When was that for you? Like, was there like a kind of like an aha moment? Like, okay, I think,
It was right around the time when I had met Daniel. I became like break even, but see, I wasn't profitable, so I needed something to take my game to the next level.
Right. Okay. Okay. And I guess his strategy kind of fit well with your personality, right? Like it kind of made sense to you.
It wasn't so much of his strategy, it was the psychology.
Okay. Now that's a real important thing. I was going to touch on that anyways later on. For me, man, psychology is a real important thing. Even because I figured the strategy stuff out. I figured my strategy out. I was making some money, that's why even in the start of the year when I first got funded, I had $300,000 with FTMO even earlier on in this year, but I never made the money like I made in the summer when I got that interview, was because my psychology wasn't there. Either I was too greedy or I was risking too much. Like what part of this, like, okay, for your emotions, what do you do on a day when you took 2 L's, or like, well, what do you do to control your emotions? Like, what's one piece of advice you can give about, handling emotions?
Well, that's simple. Handling emotions. So let's say I have a day, I take 2 L's. I simply just go away from the charts and I go do something in other in my day. I go to the gym. I might go eat, hang out with friends. My emotions are always in control because I always use great risk management. And my always, and when I lose, my main thing is this: I keep my losses very small. So let's say 100K FTMO. If I lose 1,000. Let's say I take another trade, I lose 2,000. I simply walk away from the charts because I know with the way I trade, a winning trade easily I could win $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. So
good risk to reward also.
Yeah, great risk to reward.
Great risk to reward. And now you're on the 100K, you're risking 1% per trade always.
Always.
Okay, cool. So that's a good rule of thumb. Take 2 L's and you walk away. But the thing, Otis, is majority of the people can't do that, right? I don't know if you know. At least, yeah, I used to be like that too, right? And some of the people that hit me up, it's like they take 2 L's and they're like, oh, I'm pissed off now, or like, let me make this money back. And then people go into like a gambling mindset, and then that's when everything I guess starts to crumble. So were you always good at like controlling your emotions, or something that you kind of over time?
No, not until I learned risk management, because at first when I traded, I always used to trade like US 30 and stuff, like, especially with a small account. And one day I lost $1,000, and it's $1,000 that I needed. So my emotions rambled. So from that moment, I knew I was going to always be a trader, because I was like, I'll never do that again.
Okay.
I risked so much. I think I had a $1,500 account, and I over leveraged, and I lost 1,000.
Yeah, but that's
that was due to winning.
Was due to winning.
Yeah, I was winning. So I was kind of new to the market.
Really?
I was winning. Yeah, I won. I had my first $400 day. Oh,
right.
$400 in one
Your
day.
emotions are going off. Boom. Yeah, man. Euphoria.
Because I was used to getting paid every week, $400 a week. Now I just made $400 a day in a day. So I'm like, wow, $400. Oh man, that's what messed up my psychology, the winning, not the losing. I just started going crazy. Oh, I'm gonna load the lots again. Man, I think the next 2 days, man, I lost $1,000. I said, wow, lost 1,000. Man, I put my phone down and I was like, if I lost 1,000, I did this wrong. So I know there's a way I could do this right. Man, I closed my phone. From that point forward, I use risk management, and I never risked over 3% ever since that day.
Damn, that is so important, man. What you just said. A lot of people can't even come to that realization. I'm not gonna lie. I had to blow. I think so. That's like, so you didn't really even blow an account.
I really never blew an account to zero.
Okay. So you never really went through that. I think I blew maybe over 7, 8 accounts before I went to realize, okay, what am I doing, bro? Because I lost in the start, I probably lost $15,000-$20,000 easy.
Yeah, I could
I
believe
was
it.
just, I don't know what I was trading. I don't know what, but eventually that day also came for me where I was like, okay, this is what I want to do 100%. I don't want to continue working at this job that I'm working. No way. This is what I want to do. So if this is what I want to do, what do I like? I have to do risk management. Like, there's no other way around it. You know what I mean? You have to practice risk management. You have to get your psychology under control. Some people it takes longer. Some people it doesn't take a lot of time. So for you, I see like, you're moving pretty fast. Okay. Because some of the traders, I did a podcast with another trader, it took him 4 years. He's doing really good now, but 4 years to really realize risk management, psychology. So, everybody has their own timeline. So, congratulations to you, man. You're doing your thing and you're doing it quick. Do you feel like, because in trading, you got to get a lot of stuff under control, your emotions, the type of person you are, do you get angry? Like, all that, like, do you feel like there's some personal changes that came about you as well from trading?
Yes, a lot. I'll say number one, my circle. And that's like especially with friends, families, and people you hang around. Like if you have to on the charts, you have to be good in your life before you get good on the charts.
100%.
You have to be very positive. Like I changed everything, from the people I look up to, all that, man. You got to be around very positive people, and you have to have a very positive mindset. Can't be negative. If you're negative, it'll never work. Because if you're negative, you can't handle a loss.
No.
You can't handle a loss. What you gonna do on a 5 loser streak? What you gonna do on a 10 loser streak? What you gonna do? Quit, back out?
And that's what a lot of people do, right? They quit. And that's why I feel like not everybody can even be a trader. Exactly. If you don't have the right personality, or if you get upset too easily or emotional too easy, a lot of people will burn themselves. Some people can burn themselves out financially by just keep dumping money and never realizing, there's something called risk management. There's another group of people that I've seen which happen. Okay, so the friend that introduced me to Forex 5 years ago does not trade Forex anymore because he emotionally drained himself out and he was just too emotional with it that he was like, yo, I can't, like, this is not working for me. Just like he couldn't control the emotions. So but for me, man, a lot of things for me changed as well. I'm always trying to be positive. I'm always trying to be healthy. I gave up a lot of things in life to because this for me, trading, it was like a make or break. Like I had to make this shit work. I didn't want to work a job no more. I owned a business before. I don't want to do that. I worked at a Fortune 500 company. Nice job, six-figure. Almost. Actually, last year, I turned down 2 promotions to go up to 6 figures.
Wow.
A nice job working from my house. So I was like, nope. I want to do. This is what I want to do, bro.
Wow.
And so just a little bit of my story. Like January 1st last year, I wrote down, I want to get $300,000 in funding. I want to be able to quit my job. Those are the 2 things that I wrote down. I was able to get $700,000 in funding, and instead of just getting the funding, I also got interviewed by FTMO. And in August, I quit my job as well. So,
wow,
it's some powerful shit. When you are on a path like you're doing great. I see what you're doing. You're smashing some withdrawals on FTMO. Now, do you use any indicators on your charts, Otis?
No, I do use a tool though, Fibonacci sometimes.
Okay.
But, most of the times I'm strictly just a naked chart.
So just price action.
Just price action. Simple.
Okay. Are you doing like a lot of break and retest or just
Yes. So what I'm doing, just to break it down, I go to my weekly time frame, markup, support, and resistance there. I look at the previous weekly candle to just see the future move of the market. Go to the 4-hour to look at the market structure. Let's say if I'm trending up and I'm on a nice level of support and the previous candle is like bullish, I'll simply get in with a break and retest move, whether it's a bullish engulfing or a pin bar. Or let's say if I miss the setup, I'll get in on an inside bar, which is I use for continuation.
Okay. Do you scale in at all? Like with some of your positions? No, it's just 1%. That's it.
1%. That's it. Super stress-free trading.
Okay, so you enter, you're done, and you leave it. You just drop the phone and walk away.
I do this every time I take a trade. I enter and I look at it the next day.
For real?
I look at it. Sometimes I look at it the next day or maybe 2 days later.
So you just let it hit stop loss or TP?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if it hit my stop loss because like I said, how I trade is only have to be like 40% or 35% accurate. So I take a trade, go do what I do, man. I might go to the mall, go shopping, go.
You're not going to break even at all, like at any point?
I don't like break even.
Okay.
Because
that's understandable.
I'll tell you why. I've had so many trades that hit break even in the past and go in my direction.
Yeah, and then that pisses you off even more.
Yeah, so I had my biggest day. I had a $7,000 day when I just walked away from the charts. And I always have my biggest days when I walk away from the charts. Because one thing about it is when you look at your charts all day, it starts playing with your emotions.
It does.
So why not take the trade,
Yeah.
walk away, go do what you do, go shop, go do, go do whatever you do, and then just look at it the next day. If I look at it the next day, it's rather I lost, or maybe, hey, I might be floating $2,500. So if I'm floating $2,500, okay, I could close it or let it keep going.
Close it, yeah. You can close
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like this morning, yesterday I took a trade. No, was that yesterday? Maybe I think that was Friday or Thursday. I took a trade. Held it over the weekend. Monday came, opened it, and then I think today's Tuesday. Yeah, opened my trade up this morning. I was like, 2,000. I'll take it. Click.
Damn. Now that's some stress-free trading right there. I gotta congratulate you on that. That works really good with your. I guess that works really good with your psychology and your personality.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole micromanaging the trade, because I used to do that earlier this year. I used to be like sitting there like this all day long.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, and it's so much stress, man. It's so much. I'm telling you, man. I stressed the shit out of myself this summer, but I made a lot of money. Yeah, I'm definitely this year. I'm moving into trading less, so I don't trade Mondays. I don't trade Tuesdays.
Yeah, man.
And I'm trying to take maybe 2 to 3 trades a week maximum.
Perfect, man.
That's it. I want my textbook set up. I want the setup that I know I would take over. Even if I lose, I'll take it again. It has to be that type of setup. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm trying to change some stuff around for myself to better myself. Because every year you got to improve. You got to see the mistakes you made last year. And yeah, man. So with that being said, and before we jump into another topic, for somebody, Otis, because man, you're doing fucking wonderful. You're doing great. Excuse my language, but
perfect.
I see you hitting your targets. You hitting FTMO. You getting your withdrawals. You're doing your thing. For somebody who's struggling right now, okay. So I know you struggled at one point your first year, right? You were working 12-hour shifts. You were in IHOP trying to learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who can't seem to figure it out. What are some pieces of advice you would advise to somebody like who's like, yo, I'm struggling. It's my first year. What should I do? You know what I mean?
The main thing, find somebody that has real results and get a real mentor. Make sure you see their results. So, because you want to know who you're learning from. And another thing is stop looking to make a lot of profit early. My main thing is this: you get the knowledge. My thing is this: get the knowledge first. Don't ever worry about money in life. You get the skills to acquire that money. The money will always follow.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Get the knowledge first. Everything else will come into place.
That's what I see. Like I see, and that was me too, trying to take that small account and flip it into something. And there's no point of trying to make something with $1,000. It's like, it's really not going to happen.
Exactly.
You need to get proper funding. You need to have enough leverage. Like you need to have enough money there so you can reduce the risk that you take per trade, right?
Exactly.
So man, yeah, thank you for sharing that information. It's really going to help a lot of people out. Now, let's talk about one topic because maybe there's somebody who's listening to this podcast who might be looking to, going into this direction, and we can possibly save them, rescue them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's happened with me. It's happened with probably a lot of people that are listening to this podcast, and that's IM Academy, IML. So you first got recruited. Did you pay that monthly fee for a little bit?
Man, I paid that monthly fee for like,
damn,
about 5-6 months.
Okay.
Maybe even longer.
And were you, do you feel like they were really trying to teach you to trade, or were you being pushed to recruit?
Absolutely not. I was getting pushed to recruit, man. Look, I'll tell you this. I was told to recruit my first day. I didn't even know what to do.
I'm you didn't know how to trade. Yeah.
That's everywhere. They didn't care if you was at church, at the mall, wherever you were at. They called it the 3 feet rule. If you see somebody right here, you're going to recruit them. I was recruiting my daddy. I'm serious.
And then eventually, how did you realize, like, okay, I want to trade, but this is not where this is not where I'm supposed to be? Like, how did that come into?
Oh man, because when I started learning to trade, man, I started popping like in the group I was in. Everybody wanted to start learning from me, and the leaders, they did not like that. It was like, man, no, you need to stop telling them to trade. We're trying to grow the business. I was like, how you gonna grow the business if you can't trade?
Right.
That little argument started, and then I was like, man, hey, I'm trying to make money on these charts first, and I didn't feel comfortable recruiting anybody if I don't know how to trade.
That makes no sense to me,
man.
So that makes no sense to me. And so, if anybody's listening, it's up to you if you want to join IM Academy. I saw you on a live with a brother, and that's why I brought this topic up. This is Instagram, and I was just going through my Instagram, and I see him on a live, going at it with somebody from IM, and the guy was like, I'm still in IM Academy because I find value. So I understand his point. And coming from his point, all right, let me tell you guys my story with I don't know, IM Academy, I don't know what's called now.
Right.
This is what happened, man. My first year, I was struggling so bad with trading. Okay, I was struggling so bad with trading, but I was at my break-even stage. Okay,
right.
And as you said today on the podcast, you said find yourself a mentor. Somebody who can trade. So I had gotten this advice, and somebody said, find yourself somebody good. So I was trying to find somebody local, somebody I could sit down with, like have somebody come to my house. I go to his house. I was trying to do that. So I left myself no choice. Trading had to work. So I was really trying to do the better thing. And so I went on to what's called, it's called Kijiji. It's like Craigslist for you guys, but it's like in Canada, it's a Craigslist. And I just searched like Forex mentor, and somebody came up and somebody said, I'm taking in 2 people that I'm going to mentor for the rest of the year. Wow. You got to apply, and if you are selected, I will, call you or whatever. So I thought this would be like an older gentleman. You know what I mean? Maybe he's like a professional trader. I applied. I got the email saying, I picked you. I was like, oh shit, nice. This is cool. He's like, okay, let's jump on a Zoom call. We jump on a Zoom call, and it's some kid who's like probably 6 years younger than me, sitting in his parents' basement. I'm like, all right. But at this time, I didn't know what IML was. I didn't know what IM Academy was. And I was very naive. And he said, I'm a great trader, and I'm going to turn you into, his words were, I'm going to turn you into a monster on these charts. I was like, okay, maybe this guy, maybe he's really good.
Yeah.
So, he said, okay, we're going to get my mentor on the Zoom call. They got him on. And this is where I kind of, this is where I kind of things start. I was like, okay, but I was so naive. I was so desperate to like find somebody who could help me that I was willing to take any help being given, right? I just didn't know this was a scam. Well, okay, I think it's a scam, but it is what it is, right? Yeah. So he was like, all right, okay. So, and the other thing is when people recruit you into IM or IML, they think that you don't know anything about trading, which majority of the people don't know, right? When you first got recruited, you didn't know anything about Forex. You don't know what a pip was, right? The thing is, I knew everything about trading. I just wasn't profitable. So they opened up trading you. They're like, this is the chart. I'm like, okay, I already know what that is. And then he was like, okay, you see this big green candle? Man, that's us. That's us with the banks. And we move. I'm like, there's no fucking way that's you guys. So he thought I didn't know what trading was. He didn't know what the charts. He thought I didn't know anything, right? So I'm like, there's no, I'm like, okay, hold up. So you are in on all of these moves? He's like, yes. I'm like, okay, that would mean you'd be a billionaire by now.
Exactly.
At that time, I was like, okay. He's like, let me send you the link. It's like whatever, 249 Canadian or whatever a month. I'm like, so even at that point, I was like, okay, maybe if I can learn anything from these guys, because they said we have weekly money calls where we make money every week. You're gonna make money too on Tuesdays or some weird, something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Anyways, he sent me the link, and I opened it up. It's for IM Academy, and I scroll down, and there's a picture of Alex Morton. I don't know if you know who that is. He's
like that.
Yes, exactly. That's the. And I knew what MLM was because I got caught up in that BS like in 2012 with Vima and Verve and that other bullshit. Oh. Yeah. So he was the poster child of that. So when I saw his face, this is a scam for sure, 100%. I just stopped replying to the dude's text messages. I was like, yo, there's no way. And the dude was still okay. He said he was gonna turn me into a monster on the charts, but he said, let me call you after 6 months. I'm done my job at the factory. That part didn't add up to me. You know what I mean?
That don't add up, man.
I'm still working at a factory if you're killing these charts.
Have you a monster?
That doesn't add up. That doesn't add up.
Oh man.
So, but I'm glad you got out of that. But one thing before we end this podcast and we wrap it up, because I like to keep the podcast short now. One thing is, what? At least one thing IM is doing, or IML, at least they introduce you to trading.
That's what I give them props. I give them props. But the thing is this, they introduced me, but there's only 2 people that really got me to the next level. And that's, like I said, FX Daniel Savage. And then this other guy, his name is Odis HILL, and he looks just like me. And yeah. So I met a dude real quick. I met a guy on Instagram. He looks just like me, has the same name, but his name is with a T, mine's with a D. and he's
Okay.
like he make way more than me. But I learned from him too. So
Okay.
Game Savage and Sub-Zero Mastery Academy, they got me to the next level. You know.
Okay, but now you're doing your own thing. You know what I mean? You're on your own. You're and the other thing, yeah. So if anybody wants to hit up Otis, I'm gonna have his link in the description below. You want to tell me a little bit more about the Patreon you run? Is it like
Okay.
one-on-ones? What do you do on that?
Okay, so look, for the Patreon, what I do is I just want to shorten people's learning curve because I see a lot of people don't know where to go for trading. So I figured, I was like, man, I'm kind of making a lot from trading, man. So especially for me, like one trade of mine takes care of
Right.
everything for the month, you know.
Right.
So I was like, let me make something so I can help people get to my level.
Of
So I
course.
was like, without trying to break their pockets, you know what I mean? I was like, so I'll just teach people for like $30 a month, you know. I'll help them become independent because I know that's what people want.
That's what we do, of course. So I'll leave the link in the description. If people get in touch with you, what can they expect? Like once they join, do you just do one-on-one with Zoom calls with them? Like
I do Zoom calls and I do one-on-ones, and then I do record videos, and then I give trading plans, I give study plans, I show I'm big on psychology, man. I try to do it all. It's steady improving.
all right, man. That's awesome to hear, bro. So what I'll do is I'll leave the link. All right, guys. So I'm gonna leave the link for Otis's Instagram. Please give him a follow. Check him out on Patreon. And I want to thank you, Otis, for joining the podcast today, man. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, some of the stuff about IML. And it's always good to see, you know, another brother doing so good with this Forex stuff, because I see a lot of people struggling. So, you know, if we can share a little bit of tips here and there with people, it's always great. So I want to thank you for coming on the podcast. And with that, I'm going to end it.